And with the meeting over, we can get this thing started. Welcome to another edition of Friday Night Racing at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. We're well into August here, and what a beautiful Friday night we're all enjoying together. Today, we will be featuring some keirin racing. We have regional championships going on today for our elite riders. So if you look in the program, you'll notice that the whole beginning of this thing is all about running through some heats, the reps, and any way to get back into those finals to try to fight over the championship for the keirins today. Top rider on the podium at the end of this all gets to take home the jersey for this year, saying that they won our region. That's the Pacific Northwest region, including our nearby neighborhood states here. Welcome to the live stream if you're tuning in. Thanks for tuning into JB Velodrome's YouTube channel, and we bring you the action here again on another beautiful Friday night. Racing set to start here in just a moment as we get our groups together. On the infield, all of our Cat 3 men that have signed up for today are getting ready to go out in 3 groups for the keirin heats. And those riders are now getting in their groups, and our first group will be drawing before coming onto the warm-up circle behind the pacer and into this very first event. So you'll see this thing coming on from that warm-up circle on the far side from where we are now onto the home straight, and then it's a 4-lap event. You're going to see an awful lot of that here today as we work through the heats, the reps, and all the way down to the finals in this very traditional keirin format. We're also going to be welcoming some new riders from Camp Velo that happened this week, so we're excited to bring out some youngsters that completed their week with us at Camp Velo, and then we'll be invited to do a quick race in front of everybody as we welcome them into the Velodrome community. We'll also take a pause shortly after that to talk about our partners here today. The Walk to End Hydrocephalus is here. Their event upcoming soon. They're trying to raise money to fight against this rare brain disease that affects very few but very tough children, and we're going to talk a little bit more about them when we get to that moment in our program after these first couple of heats are all wrapped up. Tappan Food Truck is here. If you're in the park, come on over and pick up your food now. It's ready. The beverage garden, of course, open and pouring locust ciders and post-stock brewing. If you're in the park and want to pick up on the live stream and share it with family and friends, velodrome.org/live has both the race program and the link to the live stream on YouTube now. And after that brief pause to get ourselves set to start, our riders are now out onto the warm-up circle. The keirin is a contest that's going to go through several phases. First, we start with these heats for 2 of our categories today. There's enough riders both for the Cat 3 men and the Cat 1-2 men for us to break it up into these heats. For the Cat 3 men, we have 3 heats, top 3 going straight to semis from these rides. So the first 3 riders get the nod into the semifinal round straight away. The back 2 will ride again in a rep. That rep will give them 1 chance to continue on if they can stick around for another round of riding. This first heat coming on the track now looks like position 1 is Stanley Douglas getting on right behind the pacer. Jamie Park for Dyna Racing, the rider in second position. That's Serge Malikian, the rider in black with the white helmet right in the middle. Mike Westover, number 337, is the fourth rider in the group, a recent joiner to the field here, and Anton Ernishev for the Jerry Baker Juniors. Your last rider in the group, I believe, also a recent upgrader from the Cat 4, so a couple of new riders jumping into the Cat 3 field this week. Again, each of these races are 4 laps, so you'll see the group go around 4 times. The first lap looks a bit like a parade as they're just getting started. It's the job of the pacer, sponsored by Team Booger today, to help get around the track here, basically 2.5 times with acceleration, consistently bringing them up to a pretty good top clip, and then they'll drop them off on the back half of the track. They get to race the last lap and a half without the pacer in the way. Before then, they can't cross that rear wheel of the pacer. They must stay behind him. But if they want to, they could start shifting up positions behind it. Right now, it looks like our rider's happy with the order of things, and as this gets faster, it's less likely that you're going to see a lot of shifting going on until right before the lead bike pulls out of the way. I know Scott on the pacer bike would like me to talk a little bit about Team Booger while he's out here today, because there's some spots for juniors and youngsters in the off season to get more, to get some more miles, get some more fun. Very active team that continues to grow, especially in the young side of things. And as he pulls out of the way, we'll bring our focus back to the field here. Top 3 advance to the semifinal round. So these 3 riders at the front of the field will be our quick advancers. Let's see how this goes. Jamie Park does open up the attack over the home straight here and is going down the back half of the track now in the lead. Sam Douglas on his left there, still down in the sprinter's lane. Serge Malikian, the rider in black, has moved his way up. It looks like one rider falling off the pace. The question is, who will be our third out of this group of 4 now? It's Westover kind of in the back half of the group trying to find his way up. And it looks like it'll be Douglas, Malikian, and Park, your first 3 across the line. Ernishev and Westover will get the invite to ride again in the rep later on. Your second heat's already set to go. It's magical here. Heat B coming up right now. Another recent upgrader. Looks like the Cat 3s have been well bolstered by recent upgraders. Wyatt Paul, number 349, sits right behind the bike. Gavin Newman, one of our riders out of Portland. Many of these riders are local riders and run the Seattle greater area, but the rider there in second spot, Gavin Newman, our Portland rider. Mike Ritter in the middle for Dyna Racing is wearing the gray with the white helmet. Mike Jors with the all blue there in the fourth wheel spot, and Tyler Arnoldi for Waterline Racing in the blue with the black shorts. That's the rider in the final position. Same thing as we just saw. 3 of these riders get the direct invite to the semifinal round. The group's still rolling up to tempo here. Again, it's a 2.5 lap process to continue the acceleration until we drop them off. So we'll have another full lap here with the pacer before they're off and away. Our Cat 1-2 men also being set to start here in just 2 more heats. Bring them up to top speed here. Again, the most important thing is that you need to be in the front 3 of this group to just skip that rep ride and go straight to the next round. If you do not make it in through the reps, after not making it here, you are eliminated from this format. So it's always good to get this thing done and be over with. The race fully underway. All the way from the back, Arnoldi has moved his way up to the front. Waterline Racing kind of cutting at that red line a little bit. Crowding the front is now Ritter's trying to hold on from the short lane. Newman, our junior rider out of Portland's got the wheel of Arnoldi and accelerating down the back straight, and here comes Wyatt Paul, the other recent upgrader. Very dominant in the Cat 4s the last couple weeks. Very quickly moved his way up into this group. Let's see if he's got the finishing kick. Jors is trying to make a run at it. Looks like Paul is going to have enough, as will Newman and Arnoldi. That'll be your 3. Jors and Ritter will get a chance again through the reps at a later point. And finally, here comes Heat C on deck, your first heat for the Cat 1-2 men. Look out, the format's just a little different. I'll make sure to read out again how the riders will go through this format. This is another group of 5, top 3 go straight to the semifinal round. Your starters here in Heat C. Right behind the bike is Hyun Lee for Dyna Racing, the rider in the pink. Justin Captis for Premier Racing in the white with that green and yellow stripe is in second position. Parker Stanford, Aerotech Racing colors here today. Right in the middle with that white bike. On his wheel is Peter Snoblin, also of the Aerotech Racing team. And at the back of the group is Liquid Velo rider Grant Gibson. Number 315 makes up this group of 5. So far, 3 riders have gotten the straight nod in 2 heats. Let's see who our 3 will be out of this group. Get your checkbooks ready. I guess actually your cash preferably later today. We are going to be raising some money for the scratch races with Preems at the very end of this program. We'll talk more about the Walk-In Hydrocephalus that's here today and their event that's upcoming here in the interim between our heats and the rest of the keirins. Many of the money that we raise for Preems tonight gets split 50-50 between our riders and our partners that are here today, so hopefully we'll be generous in our giving. Again, that'll be coming up a bit later in our program. We'll get some folks out with the buckets and asking for some contributions to help our friends that are here. And before the race night's over, if you wouldn't mind making your way over to the tent and saying hello to Betsy Conyard and her team what's over there. And they're hanging out some nice bracelets they got their great motto on there. No more BS, no more brain surgery. So come on and say hi and ask more about their upcoming event in person. We'll talk more about it shortly. Your group now underway. Hyun Lee on the front of the group. Bell's ringing. One more lap to go. Front 3 across the line. Invited on to the semifinal round directly. Peter Snoblin makes a good jump across the finish line. He gives himself a good opening here. Hyun Lee's got a good turn of speed, though. This is a good event for this rider, so he's going to try and get back up into the front quickly. And it also looks like our rider from Premier Racing is in really good position. It looks like Captis has jumped up quickly, leaving one of our younger riders off the back a bit. So here's your front 3 under the power of Lee, your first rider across the line. It'll be Captis and Snoblin joining in for the semifinal round. We got a small crew here for the Cat 1-2s today, and we've got 3 heats in total, but 4 riders in each group. First rider through goes straight to the major final. There'll be 2 reps with 2 going to the major final. From that, all other riders will go to the minor final. There will not be an elimination for riders here. They'll at least get to ride through the whole format. The question is can you go to the major final and ride for 1st through 6th, or will you be in the minor final and ride for the bottom positions? You could, right here, win this heat and go straight to the major final. Skip the middle round, save yourself a ride, and set yourself up really well for the finish later on in the program. That's going to be the goal of some of these riders. Here's our group. It's Ben Flom, the first rider right behind the bike for Fell Swoop. Kenny Williams for Center Cycles in blue right behind him. Mario Sandoval is the rider in 3rd position. And John Bowie for Waterline Racing at the back wearing the Rider of the Year jersey. If you've been out Friday night, you know why he has that. He's won an awful lot. He's going to try to do even more winning here today, as he did put up quite the showing at the Vision Grand Prix. Our big race of the year was on top of the sprint podium after winning the keirin. He's going to try and do it again here today. First, he's got to win this heat to go straight to the major finals. That's the best route to win today. One more half lap with the leader. Pace will pull off here on the back straight, and then we'll let this thing fly and see who can come across the line first. Look out for the rider at the very back to try to establish some dominance here. He's got some speedsters in here. Ben Flom at the front, known more for the long type of attack, tends to go a little bit longer distance in his sprint, so he may be trying to just keep it from the front and see what he can do from the front of this field, but he knows he's got a pretty tall order to be first across the line with the riders chasing him down. 1 to go. I think Bowie is waiting for 101 to make some sort of movement here as Sandoval is up and out of the saddle. The attack does come from the front from Flom, though. He tries to accelerate things. Williams leaving a small gap here. The big jump now coming as Bowie will come up to top speed as he hits turn 3. Coming in on the home straight. Good acceleration from these 2 riders coming along side by side. Flom looking strong from the front, but Bowie with great finishing speed will do enough to win the heat and go straight to the major. The second heat currently on the track. Same thing as we just saw. This second group for the Cat 1-2 men will only have one rider advance straight to the major final. At the front, number 110 is Alex Siegel for the Waterline Racing Team. Christian Miller in second position for 10-Speed Hero, wearing bib number 123. The rider in pink behind him is Scott Grinzel, racing for the Dyna Racing Team. And finally, Luke Wilson in the Center Cyclers Better Builders team in all blue with the white helmet. This is a tough one to pick. Alex Siegel is a Masters champion in this category. He's known for his sprinting. Has worked his way to the top, got second place in the sprint tournament at the Virgin Grand Prix, and has great top speed. He's at the front of this field, though, and he's got some strong riders behind him. Christian Miller's come on in really good form here in 2023 and surprised several people, I believe, with his speed in this event and in the sprints, really. So certainly not a given win here for Siegel, but if he can find the win here, that's going to be a good route for him to work towards those finals and put up a good show in the final round. He appears to be pulling off the paces a little bit. Not surprising here. Siegel, again, kind of the true sprinter in the group, wants to try to hold on to the jump as long as he can. Slows the group back down again. A little bit of a reset. Miller's right behind him. Maybe the rider that wants to make it a bit longer. That's exactly what he's looking to do. He wants to do the 400-meter effort now. Miller up and out of the saddle. Drives the pace pretty quick. He drops the back half of the group. It's really now just Siegel who has to try to get back on top of these gears and run down the back straight and see if he can get back onto the wheel of Miller, who's pulled away very well here. The race on between 10-Speed Hero and Waterline Racing, but here comes the top speed of Siegel. This is what he's known to do. Great acceleration in the sprint. Can he come around at the end? It will be enough, it looks like, for Siegel. No surprise, he's got a little bit of the national colors on there too as a reminder. He's a champ in this kind of event, so he's going to throw down really well here tonight. Miller not going to be done yet. We'll get more from him and this rest of this group in the reps. And your last group of four here tonight to throw down in the keirins for the Cat 1-2 men in this round. It's Heat C, Merritt Gallagher for the Jerry Baker Juniors with the red helmet. A young competitor who's worked his way all the way into the Cat 1-2s this season and is no slouch on his way up here. Liquid Velo's Andy Baker is the second rider in this group. Coefficient of Speed has two riders in the field. Andrew Carlberg is the third wheel spot, and his teammate right behind him is Nick Martinez. If you know our track records, you know that Carlberg holds one for the flying 200 meter. That's the rider that's in third in this group, now moving up to second. His top speed is quite the thing around here, and this is a good event for him. He gets him up to a good speed, and then he closes in really good fashion. He's known for these kinds of events. We'll see how he can place here today. Again, first step is win the heat, go straight to the major final, save you the in-between rounds, and rest up well for the finish. As he's already got the Vision Grand Prix champ, Bowie, who's already qualified in. He's got his longtime sprints competitor. I was told it can't be called a rival. They're too good of friends, with Siegel making his way in. Carlberg certainly a favorite in the group here out of these four. Coming down to their final half lap with the pacer. Paces off and away, and now we open up things onto the home straight. Martinez tries to make the jump. Carlberg still on his wheel. I think Baker's going to pass on this one. He backs off, leaving the three in front of him to go a little bit more full speed. Gallagher's trying to hold on the acceleration now as Carlberg comes up to speed in turn 3. Gallagher, the junior, he doesn't know better. He says, I got top speed, look out. I'm going to give this a go. Gallagher and Carlberg, he says, nope, you're not coming around me. Very well planned effort there for Carlberg, as he does just enough to do what he needs to do in this first heat to move towards these finals. And that is the last of the heats, which means we are inviting up our riders for the Camp Velo graduation process. That's now going to happen here. So we're going to bring up all those riders on the track. Looks like Kelly's got them all ready to get out here onto the velodrome, and we'll get a quick introduction and get this race underway. This is a formal way for us to invite the kids and the families of those that have participated in Camp Velo, the week-long junior certification and prep plan opportunity that we give our students here, our kids, during the summer. They get to come out in front of you all and get invited into the community, welcomed officially in the Friday Night Lights. So we're going to get this thing started in just a little bit as these riders are getting set to go. This is the Camp Velo graduation just about to start. Cat 3 men for the reps. We're going to go ahead and get ready for drawing here. And so if our riders in the reps could make their way over to podiums, we're ready to start getting that set to go, as this race will be pretty quick. If you want to know more about our educational offerings for the kids, Camp Velo is just one of those ways that kids can get involved. But if they want to start racing as a junior competitor, they should sign up for Camp Velo. Those spots are limited and only happen during the summer. We also have the completely free youth try the track classes, which are just an hour long and let the kids get on a track bike, no cost, including the bike itself and the instruction that they'll give during that hour. It's really just about giving them a chance to play around on the bike, see what it feels like. If they're comfortable with that fixed gear, no brakes kind of feeling, and they want to do more, that's a great way to see if they're ready for a Camp Velo experience. You can sign up for those experiences online at velodrome.org under the Education tab.
All right. Lucy, are they set back there? All right, looks like they're set on the home stretch. Okay, here we go. I'll explain it once we start. Ready, set, go! All right, so those first two riders just saw 4 to go. Immediately, these two see 3 to go. This is a wheel race. The two older kids must catch everyone to win this race. So pick your favorite. We'll cheer them all on, let's be honest. But those two on the backstretch right now have a hard work. They got to do a whole extra lap. There we go. Go, go, go. Want to do some names? Just hold it up high, apparently.
Right now, coming around on the home straight, we have Israel leading things out, followed by Rocco right on his wheel. Looks like Israel's going to pull up. They're working together to catch the younger kids. Now around come our leaders. Currently, we've got Kiki on the front, Eva looking close to catching. And then our last group on the track, they're in the middle right now. We've got 2 kids named Josh.
Okay, apparently in practice, this was like near photo finish worthy. So these two right here are getting the bell. And the next groups of 2 are coming fast. Here comes Eva with a nice move. Looking over her shoulder. Great job. 1 to go. 1 to go. Okay, then we have Josh's. I can't even say that. Josh. Go Josh. And then Rocco and Israel. Go, 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 go. Catch them. They look like they're playing tactics back there.
Smooth and calculated. That's what I'm seeing.
I know after this, while we get these kids off the track, Corey's going to do a brief sponsor highlight before our Cat 3 rep Looks like all of those riders are over there.
Are the juniors ready for their donations and connect collections? All right, very good. I'll also get them started here in a bit.
Ooh, this is the finish. Eva's coming around.
Whoa,
She's looking
strong
to win
finish.
this. Look at this.
Woo.
Look at this in the back. No kidding. This is a 5-up sprint here to finish.
Nice.
Wow,
Well done.
timed. Now that's how you do a wheel race.
Yeah, that's the best one we've seen all season.
There you go. So those athletes will exit on the back. It'll take them a few minutes to get off. So I'm gonna pass it over to Corey to talk a little bit about our nonprofit partner.
That's right. Thanks again for the parents and the kids, by the way, for joining us for Camp Velo this week. And welcome to the Velodrome community. We hope to see a lot more laps from these kids. And hopefully we'll see them again on Monday nights and who knows where else here at the Velodrome. That's right. We have some partners here today. While we prepare for our next event, I want to talk about the Walk to End Hydrocephalus. Our partners that are here today, presented by Locust Cider. You can see their tent over next to the bake sale going on for the Jerry Baker Juniors. You can go pick up your bake sale item to raise a little money for them and then get ready to raise a lot of money for our friends that are here today. The Walk to End Hydrocephalus is the Hydrocephalus Association's largest annual fundraising event, raising critical funds for research, advocacy efforts, support, and education. When you take part in a walk, you join more than 1 million Americans and their families who want to change the future of hydrocephalus. Join the fun and be a part of this movement. This is happening Saturday, September 9th, the Warren G. Magnuson Park. You'll be finding them in picnic shelter number 3. The walk route is accessible to strollers, wagons, and wheelchairs. Please note that some of the path is gravel. No bikes, scooters, or razors will be allowed. Please see parking directions below on their website for the full schedule. You can get that schedule very easily. I have the link here on our partnership thing here. It's hydroassociation.org. That's hydro, A-S-S-O-C. So hydroassoc.org/Seattle Walk. We'll get you straight to the detail page for the upcoming event. Again, that's Hydro, H-Y-D-R-O, ASSOC.org/Seattle Walk, or come over to the tent and ask for more details. I know Betsy's over there ready to answer your questions and give you one of the fun bracelets. As a reminder, we are raising money starting right now for our Scratch with Preems tonight. If you see juniors with a red bucket, they want money. What's the money going to go for? Well, of course, it's going to go for some of our racers in the Scratch race tonight. But half of the proceeds are also going to go towards our partners for the Walk to End Hydrocephalus. So if you can pull out that wallet of yours and find whatever cash you have rolling around in there, get ready to toss in the bucket. It'll help both our racers and our cause here today. We appreciate your donations. Due to some complications with working with our online stream and making sure we have cash on hand, we are not at this time opening Super Chat for donations directly. Although if you do feel like giving donations to the Velodrome, you can always use the Super Chat as a way to donate. You can also go to our website, velodrome.org, and find the donate button there. Again, the kids with the buckets, we've got kids walking around. They're getting ready to go. Or is it boxes? I don't know. It's something. They're going to be asking for cash. You'll see them. They'll walk all the way around. You don't have to come to them. They'll come to you. It'll be nice and easy to do, I promise. It's a good time to talk about our other sponsor here that is affected by this, our partners at Locust Ciders. Of course, they are the ones that have partnered up to help make this thing happen here today. And if you didn't know, the cause for Locust Ciders, their cause is that they're inspired by tough people. Those who live with this rare brain condition, hydrocephalus, are some of the toughest people they know. The founder's daughter was born with this condition, and her only treatment and only way for survival is brain surgery. They made it their mission to use the company as a vehicle to support the research and hope someday there'll be a better treatment option for all kids. A portion of proceeds from all the cans you buy from Locust Ciders also gets donated to the Hydrocephalus Association. So not only are they a big sponsor here for the Velodrome, but they're also doing great work in our community. Check out Locust Ciders. Make sure to pick up their cans from local grocery stores. You can find them all over the place now as they've grown quite popular. Again, Locust Ciders, thanks for helping support the Velodrome and the Hydrocephalus Association. Coming up next, we have the Keirin reps for the Cat 3 men about ready to start. It's one ride for these riders to continue on in the format. It's their last chance. Don't make it here. You're done for the evening. So our groups are getting lined up on the infield. Coming into the warm-up circle, we'll be ready to start here shortly. Getting the signal for the pacer to roll. So here comes our first group now onto the warm-up circle. On deck will be the Cat 4 men for their semifinals, followed by the Open women. Where's Justin at? There he is. Heather says hi via YouTube. Team Booger's giving the wave. Wave, you're on, or smile, you're on Canon camera. I mean, it is a Canon. That's pretty cool. From the rep ride, this group of 6 gets one more chance. 3 riders from this group get to continue on into the semifinal round. The other 3 are done today, so this is their last chance to continue on in the format. This will bring our group down to the 12 needed to run the semifinal format. This is now 3 to go. Parker Sanford at the very front there for Aerotech Racing draws position number 1. A very recent graduate of the Jerry Baker Juniors program, now racing for Aerotech Racing. Mike Jors is right behind him, nearly made it in during his heat, the rider in blue. Then it's kind of bunching up a little bit behind him at seeing 2 to go as Ritter seems to be moving up alongside a little bit. Westover now creating sort of a second line of riders. Think of this group, it was Jors that was the closest to being in. Just couldn't quite get around the group that was in front of him, so he's going to try and do what he needs to do right now to secure an opportunity to keep racing. So Stanford on the front now. Bell's ringing, it's 1 to go. 3 riders make it in. Jors up and out of the saddle. There's the jump he's looking for. Brings up the speed really good here and sort of dropping half the field. We might have just found our top 3 if they're aware of what's going on around him, as it looks like Ritter managing to follow the pace pretty well of Jors. Grant Gibson, the rider for Liquid Velo, also pulling away. These 3 riders do get to move on to the semifinals. It's basically the front half now coming around in the home straight. These riders will get to ride again. Gibson, Ritter, and Jors will make their way onwards. Our other 3 will exit, and that'll be it for the Keirins tonight. They'll get a quick cool down and get ready for the scratch race later this evening. The Cat 4 men coming up now. This is the semi-finals for the Cat 4 men now on the track. Two heats for these riders. Top 3 advance to the major. Places 4 and above will go to the minor final. So the top half of the group straight to major final, the bottom half to the minor final. That means you need to be in the front half to race for 1st through 6th place. This is Dan Pham at the front of the group, right behind the pacer. On his wheel is Manmeet Renu, racing, I believe, for the colors of Aerotech Racing himself here today. Apex Racing has Jason Spears, the 3rd rider in the group. Jack Hampson for Team Epic, East Portland Youth Cycling. Keegan Fairbanks of the Jerry Baker Juniors is in position 5. And at the back of the group, we have Joshua Poznansky, our group of 6, just getting started. Again, it's the front 3 that get to ride in the major finals, the bottom 3 of the group race in the minor finals. If you want to race for 1st through 6th, you got to be front half of these groups to go on ahead. Heat B for the Cat 4s is up next. That'll be the last of that for the Cat 4s. That's followed by our riders for the Open women in their semifinal round. Paces out of the way. The Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome gear restricts our Cat 4s, so the riders all racing in the same gear ratio, an 86-inch gear requirement. So a little bit more spin for a keirin than you'll see in our other groups. But nonetheless, it's still about top speed. How much can you bring the bike up to top speed with that kind of gear ratio? That's still what it's about. Jason Spears says, I got a good jump here, so off he goes. The rider in blue takes the lead spot. It's Pham alongside of Hampson now. Good second effort here from the back of half of the group, though, as it's not over yet. Fairbanks, the youngest rider in the group here, looks like he's got great acceleration. The two kids are coming out and around towards the front. It's going to be Fairbanks, Hampson, and Spears. Your first three across the line. I think it was just barely Monmeet Ronu out of the group there. Good fight back there from the junior rider, Fairbanks, to come right back into that race. Heat B now coming onto the track, our last for the Cat 4 men. It's Masahiko Yasui, number 473 at the front of the group. Logan Lee in the second spot. In third wheel, Conrad Mayer, the rider in pink. Kevin Ulrich in blue for the Gene Johnson cycling team, that rider in fourth spot. For Team Epic, Luke Tallman, the fifth rider in the group, number 434. And finally, Ryder Carlson, also for Team Epic, at the back end there. We saw a lot from these riders during our last weekend of racing, the Junior Takeover, where we really featured a lot of young riders during the course of the weekend. If you want to go back and check out some of the racing highlights, you can do so by looking through our YouTube channel, JB Velodrome, and rewatch the fun there. Again, the Junior Takeover was all about bringing in kids from across the country. We got a lot of participation here on the West Coast and a good showing from the riders out of the East Portland Youth Cycling Team, a growing squad of riders that are being really dominant here on the I-5 corridor. They've come up and put up some good results. Of course, we saw Gavin Newman in the Cat 3s, and I think we have three riders here tonight for the Cat 4s amongst what is usually a very Jerry Baker Jr. heavy field. It's good to have the Portland crew making their way up frequently to join us. A new rider in the midst here, Masahiko Yasui at the very front. New to see him race today, so looking forward to see where he's at for this part of the season. A bit of an unknown. Conrad, right in the middle of this group, has had some good results for the Cat 4s recently. These riders are looking for results because that earns them upgrade points, which is how you get out of the Cat 4, out of the gear restrictions, and into the Cat 3 field. As the pacer pulls out of the way, the front will become Logan's. He's going to make the jump out of turn 3. Great acceleration here for the kid. He watched his dad, Hune, race a good race during his ride on the track. Now Logan's chance to see what he can do. Conrad with the second jump, though, looking quite quick into turn 1. No surprise to see this rider for Dino Racing with that kind of jump across the line. This brings a lineup of 4. This is going to be a fight for the front 3 here. Ulrich down the back straight's got a good jump. He's trying to get on the wheel. Looks like he'll be able to catch. Tallman, our rider from Epic's there as well. And here comes your new rider, Masahiko, towards the front. It's going to be only the front 3. Ooh. Ulrich looks like he's got this. Mayer should be good, and it'll be Tallman just barely leaving on Masahiko. What a great fight to hold on to that sprint. A great showing for a first Friday night. This will now move on to the Open Women. A few of our competitors here out of town this weekend. We've got a pretty small crew here today for the Open Women competitors, but we still get to have some fun cheering them on despite that. Here comes up the first of our 2 heats. In our 2 heats for the group, the top 2 race again for the major final, which will be for places 1 through 4. The bottom 2 from each heat will go and race for positions 5 through 8. In this group, we have Amar Edwards for Team Mama Bears at the very front, also known as the coach for the Jerry Baker Juniors and our program director. Danny Scoville in second wheel right behind her, one of her members on the team, the speedster for the Jerry Baker Juniors with the orange helmet. Aaron Bailey for Breakfast Racing Team is in third position there. And finally, it's Charlotte Westover, another Jerry Baker Jr. rider, will be the last rider in this group. Again, the front half gets to race for the top 4 spots. The back half will go race for 5th through 8th. One more heat for the Open Women. before we get to the rep rides for the Cat 1-2 men. Two to go. Half lap with the pacer left. Scoville going to be a favored rider here tonight overall in this format. See who can find their way in the front half. There's a rider in second wheel. I think amongst our competitors here tonight is in at a top 3 position, very likely, in the keirin. Edwards still from the front, finds herself in the lead position, will continue to hold on to the pace from the lead bike. Bell's ringing for 1 to go. It's still Edwards on the lead position, waiting for the attack, likely to come from number 1 here at some point. Bailey and Westover all holding on to the speed right now. Westover beginning to feel maybe like it's time to do something here from the back. Here comes Scoville now down the back straight. Edwards and Scoville side by side, just trying to be 1-2, but Bailey's doing some work here to move up alongside 2. Here comes Aaron Bailey up around the corner. Still Scoville on the lead of the sprint, though. The rider with the orange helmet. No surprise to see her at the front of this group. Bailey will hold on to her speed. That'll be your first 2 across the line. We'll see Scoville and Bailey race in the major final later on here today. Ooh, looks like a bit of a mechanical in good control for Charlotte, but we do have a rider down over in turn 2. I think we're going to be able to clear it here in just a second. If our current heat can just maybe be aware coming around the turn here. That's a slow motion fall down there. We're checking in with Charlotte. Looks like we're on the site quickly and we'll be able to take care of her needs here in short order. It sounded like a bike issue as it was after the race was over. Right now on the track is our second group of 2. Again, the top 2 race for the top spots. Your bottom 2 will race for 5th through 8th. It's Catherine Wade Easley for that blue team, the Center Cycle squad in the front. Lucy Dorr for the Jerry Baker Juniors, followed by the other Lucy of the Jerry Baker Juniors, Lucy Gilchrist, right in the middle of the group. And then Kelly Darlene racing in the blue of Rice University, the collegiate rider back for the summer fun here at the Velodrome. Kelly may not be the true sprinter, but she's got great overall fitness and was put on a heck of a show for the Vision Grand Prix and the elimination for the Elite Open Women. And I think also a favorite to look out for here today, just from the group we have and the top speed she is known to put out here at the Velodrome. She also has a rider right in front of her from the Jerry Baker Juniors that also tries to be a pretty good sprinter herself, Lucy Gilchrist. So I think those 2 at the back half are going to try and do what they can to come around and make this a good race from these 4. Three to go. Again, after this, we have the reps for the 1-2 men getting set to start, followed by the semifinal round for the Cat 3 men. It's the keirin special here today as we're running our regional championships for the elite men and the elite women. Those riders that showed up here tonight will be facing off for the top spot on the podium in the keirins to be able to wear the jersey. Only eligible for our Cat 1-2 men field and the open women field, again, our elite fields. Everybody else still having fun here as part of the format for the keirins. Currently, your women here, the open women field in the second heat of 2. Top 2 compete in the major final, top 4 spots. Catherine Wade Easley is the rider that was at the front, now starting to be overtaken here by Dorr. An impressive junior with really a great course for improvement this season. Continues to look stronger and stronger every week. She takes the front spot now, number 203. Lots of good years of racing for these youngsters left as Gilchrist is still on her wheel, as is Darlene. I think potentially the fastest from this group. If she can find the move around the top, it looks like that lane is open. Here comes Gilchrist and Darlene now from the back half of the field to come alongside Dorr. Darlene's got to have to get back into the wheel and see if she can find the acceleration around the right side. Here comes Gilchrist and Darlene trying to come around the outside. That should do it. Gilchrist and Darlene race again for first through fourth. On the warm-up circle now, your rep rides for the Cat 1-2 men. In this first field, Ben Flom, the rider at the front for Fell Swoop Racing. Christian Miller for 10-Speed Hero right behind him. Kenny Williams for Center Cycles in third spot, and Scott Grinsel, Dyna Racing. Pardon me, flip-flop the last two. Scott's in third position, the rider in pink. Kenny Williams will be the rider at the back of this group, the rider in blue. The top two from this rep get to race in the major final. The bottom two go to the minor final. Correction, just the top one. Moving on. So high stakes in the reps here. Only the top rider gets to race again for the major final from this group, which means you got to win this heat to continue on your way to even have a shot at the top spots. This is going to give us a ride for first through fifth in the final round. Your top three already decided earlier. Our invites into that major final win already coming for Bowie, Karlberg, and Siegel. One more rider from this group and one from the next will make it a group of five. Everybody else will ride for the minor final, the lower positions. We saw how close Miller came to winning his heat, despite the fact that he was beat at the end there. The rider in white looked really fast, and I think might be able to dial up something here for this one. Flom from the front is also a dangerous rider. Both of the two riders in the front of this field, I think, may have the better jump, the better top speed. The question is which one of them is going to find the right recipe here to win? One to go. One rider to join the major final. Flom looks to be pushing the pedals pretty hard there from the sprinter's lane. Grinsel trying to come around the outside for Dyna Racing. Miller leaving a little bit of running room. He wants to run at the wheel of Flom and try to come around the right side. So a nice acceleration and a sprint for the rider in white. Can he make the close happen? He's hit the wheel, coming around the outside. This is good looking acceleration. Just needs to hold the momentum on the acceleration here from Miller. And it looks like our rider in white does have the finishing speed he needs. Flom from the front looking very quick, but it's not enough to slow down the counterattack from 10-Speed Hero. He'll ride in the group for first through fifth. One more rider to find out who's going to join him. Out of this group, will it be the junior who looked like he was holding pace with Karlberg, the rider at the very back? Will it be our former Seattle Seahawk tight end, Luke Wilson, at the front? Not sure who's going to find it from this group. Our rider of the year last year, Mario Sandoval, also is a good sprinter here, the rider in second wheel spot. Nick Martinez for coefficient of speed is the rider in third in this group. One of them is going to find the invite to race for the major final. Again, your Jerry Baker Jr., the youngster I was referring to, following Karlberg around. He's got great top speed. He's at the back of this group now. And the former tight end at the very front, the big guy, number 82 for the team. Still ends with 82 on the jersey. Number 182 at the front for Better Builders. See what they can do here in this run for the invite to the major final. One rider makes it in to join what is going to be a quick group. On deck, the Cat 3 men for their semifinal round, followed by the Cat 4 men for the finals. First the minor and then the major. Seeing two to go, last half lap with the pacer. It's going to be Luke Wilson at the front of the group. Continuing to try to hold the pace for now. Sandoval already moving a little bit up and out of that lane, trying to look over his shoulder. He's not making the jump, but he's moving the race up a little higher. And with 1 to go, the rider's fanning out a bit. Wilson holds off for the attack from the front until he sees some of the rider coming in along right side of him. Now both riders really getting up to top speed. Wilson's trying to hold off the acceleration from Sandoval. Both the riders in the second lane right behind him, not really making a move just yet. Sandoval still has more fight in him. It's side by side, a good match sprint here between Wilson and Sandoval, but Wilson looking really consistent here. Nice drive for him from the front, not letting anybody come around him. Wilson will find this one. A good 400-meter effort. We've got our top 5 here today for the major final for the Cat 1-2 men. That's going to be a fun group to watch. Here comes our next group now out of the warm-up circle. The semifinal round now for the Cat 3 men getting started. Three to go. Let's look at our group here. We have Hyun Lee at the front of this group for Dyna Racing. Right behind him is Gavin Newman for Team Epic. That's Mike Ritter for the Dyna Racing team in third wheel spot. Stan Douglas for Flow Cycling Factory team, the rider in fourth. Jamie Park for Dyna Racing is the fifth in the group. So 3 Dyna Racing riders in this one group. And Heather Nielsen's favorite rider, Justin Captis, at the very back of the group for Premier Racing. This is the semifinal round, which means this is the split for the major to the minor. So you've got to be in the front half of this group to make it to the major final. I know, it's one more step. If you haven't raced or watched a race like this before, you could think, isn't this exhausting? Why can't we just do a scratch race? But the fun of this is all the rounds of qualification that it has. It kind of gives you this cream of the crop, the top spots at the end. You know the riders had to earn it. And at 1 to go, who's going to earn the invite to the major final? Only the first 3. A good move here from Park across the line. Jamie Park, great acceleration. Who's going to hold on to it? Justin Captis has got a good jump as well. The rider right for Premier Racing. Appreciating the cheering on from the YouTube audience. Ooh, Hyun Lee's trying to find a window there. He's made some kind of move there. He made his way through. Newman's trying to make the same move. That window's closed down, though. He can't find it. That puts Park and Lee at the front. Oh, Newman doesn't want to give up. He's coming on the outside. Newman with great acceleration. Are you kidding me? Wow. I don't know if it was Lee or Ritter in that third spot across the line. It was going to be Park and Newman for sure, and that was pretty wild. Newman clearly had the speed. He just didn't have the opening. He had to back up, go all the way around the group, and he still found it. Woo. Exciting. The second group here for the semifinals, 6 more riders, going to be split right in half. See which goes to the major and which will go to the minor. Half of the group races for the top 6 spots here today for the Cat 3 men. Right behind the pacer is Mike Jors, the rider in blue. Serge Malicki, and the rider in black with the white helmet, is the rider in second position. Your third rider there is Wyatt Paul, a recent upgrader from the Cat 4s, but do not count him out today. Tyler Arnoldi for Waterline Racing has been looking in good form here. Had a nice qualifier and very strong finish for him. He's the rider in fourth spot. Working his way back in, Grant Gibson through the reps is in fifth wheel, as is Peter Snowblin at the back for AirTech Racing. They get a second chance to race, and now they got to find themselves in the front half if they want to continue on the way to first through sixth. Otherwise, they're racing for 7th through 12th in the minor final. On deck, we move to some finals. That's right. We are now going into the final round after this race. The Cat 4 men minor final followed by the major. Pacers got another near full lap on the front before we leave it to the riders to really sort this one out. In that previous heat, just to announce, it was officially Ritter just in front of Lee for third across the line, according to the finish results. Oh, man, that's some movement at the front. We went out of the sprinter's lane, and the whole field kind of moving up and down here. Settling back in now as Malikian takes back the sprinter's lane. Arnoldi's driving right above the red line now, trying to get into position and set himself ready for the launch down the back straight. Good speed here for Arnoldi. He gets up to stop speed quickly. He's separating himself here from the field, looking like he's set for a good race in the major final. Who's going to join him? Wyatt Paul coming out of the group, and Serge Malikian also looking like they're ready for more racing. Arnoldi, Malikian, and Paul will be your top three, and that one much easier to call from up here than our previous group. Are we doing it the fancy way? With holders and everything. Oh, fantastic. It's a regional championship tonight. We're going to do this with the full aplomb. We're going to do the whole thing. Cat 4 men for the minor finals coming up now. Along the rail, let's meet Ranu racing again for Airtech Racing. Next to our name is Daniel Pham, getting set to go up in lane 5. And lane 4 is Logan Lee for the Jerry Baker Juniors. It's Masahiko Yasui in lane 3 set to start. For Team Epic, we got Ryder Carlson in lane 2, and then down in the sprinters lane, our last rider, Joshua Poznansky, ready to start here in the minor final. All right, the Pacers on their way. Pacer now onto the home straight. Riders ready. There we go. These Cat 4s can get on top of the gears a little faster. And on we go. The 6 riders will get in their lineup behind the Pacer. It's Poznansky has to be the rider right behind the Pacers. He drew position number 1. These 6 riders are going out for 7th through 12th position. What's fun about the final round is that theoretically it's the most competitive round. You've got the riders that have won all their heats together, and if there's any riders that got the bottom third in their heats, they get to race again and should be well matched. So it's still good racing here in the final round, pretty much for everybody, if the format works the way it should. Coming up after these races here for the Cat 4s, we do have regional championships right around the corner. That's our Cat 1-2 men and the Open women. Top rider in their major final, Grant, gives himself bragging rights, the jersey for the region, and saying that they showed up here in August to try to win the keirin here at the Velodrome in front of the audience on a Friday night. Sounds like we've raised over $150 so far for our partners here for their upcoming event. And they're fighting against Hydrocephalus. And you can come on over and check out the tent and still get your questions answered about their upcoming event in September. And the walk to end Hydrocephalus is coming up in September, on September 9th. Raising money to fight against this rare disease that impacts children. You can learn more about what they're doing. Come over to the tent and say hi before the evening's over. We've raised over $150 for them. If you want to donate directly, I'm sure you can. Thanks for putting your money into the bucket to help also raise some money for our preems this evening. And our minor final, the bell's ringing. It's still Peslansky on the front. Hesitation here from the rest of the group, but here comes maybe the back half starting to find a little bit more acceleration. Now the overtake's happening for Ryder Carlson. Racing for Team Epic here, the front now taking over. Here comes Dan Pham waiting for the big attack as well. He hits the blue line at good speed. Can he hold on to this, though? You saw how close Masahiko was. He's going to try and get it on this one, but he doesn't really have anywhere to go. Ryder from the front. Can he hold on? Masahiko's chasing down. Whoa! A great race here at the front between Ryder and Masahiko. It's too close for me to call. I think it might have been on the outside by the eye test, but it was pretty close. Good competitive finish there at the top of the field for those riders. If you're looking for the direct link to tonight's partner in their event, if you want to get that more directly, I'm going to put that into the live stream chat right now. So again, you can pick up on the stream. Go to velodrome.org/live to pick up the stream right now. While you're there, hit subscribe, and you can check the live chat for the link here. We're going to put that up so you know exactly where you need to go. You can just click it and bam, you're there. In fact, I'm going to have Amara do it because I'm using her computer. Bam! Let's get that up there. And we'll send the pacer on its way. Here he comes. Pacer now onto the home straight. Riders ready. Luke Tallman draws position number 1, your rider right behind the bike. Kevin Ulrich, the rider in blue, is in second position. Jason Spears for Apex Racing is here tonight. We'll talk more about him in a second. The rider in third spot. Right behind him is Keegan Fairbanks for the Jerry Baker Juniors. In the pink, Conrad Mayer for Dyna Racing. And finally, also for Team Epic, Jack Hampson, your top 6 in the keirin tonight, going to be found out here. You're going to be your champ for the Cat 4s this evening. I bring up Jason Spears because I'm talking about that Velodrome connection to Locust Ciders. That's him. Our rider there, Jason Spears, one of the founders of Locust Ciders, is here this evening racing. So as he goes by, make sure you give a good cheer there for the Apex Racer, number 455. Not just the founder of a great company and a good product, but also for what he's doing with the Walk to End Hydrocephalus and supporting that association, Mr. Spears. As we go around here, our 6 riders being brought up to speed. Again, this is our major final, so top 6 positions. After this, we get set for the next group, which is the championship ride for the open women. We've got first the minor final, then really that championship ride, the major final. 2 groups of 4 set to start after this. We'll do the minor first. It's heating up here in preparation at 2 to go. It's Tallman still at the front, number 434. Draws the first spot. He holds onto the wheel. Continue to accelerate. Racing starting to get bunched up a little bit here. Is there some movement? The lineup is not so lined up anymore. Tallman's looking around to see if there's any aggression. He actually just wants to get out of the sprinter's lane. This kind of gives Conrad Mayer something to go around. This is a bit of bump in the road there. Tallman moves back down in the sprinter's lane. He's now all the way at the back. He's going to try to fight from the back, but here comes Mayer now, who's going to hit the front right as they get to the line. Ulrich also trying to be in top speed. Now the second attack coming from number 422. That's Jack Hampson, who had a good showing at the junior takeover as well. Here comes Fairbanks, the local rider for Jerry Baker Juniors, known for one really good sprint. If he can put one here together, this would be a really impressive effort. He's trying to hold on to the junior right in front of him. It's going to be 2 kids out the front. It's Portland versus Seattle here. Team Epic's trying to hold on to the front. Here comes Hampson versus Fairbanks. Hampson versus Fairbanks. It'll be down the sprinter's lane by half a bike. Hampson from the front. Fairbanks made a good run at it. The Cat 4 is doing good racing here today in the keirin. Our Portland rider, though, throws down and finds the win. Coming up now, the minor final for the open women. And on deck, your major final. Lucy Dorr for the Jerry Baker Juniors out in lane 4. Next door to her in the blue with the black helmet, that's going to be Catherine Wade-Easley for Center Cycles. The rider for Jerry Baker Juniors with that white helmet, orange bike, that's Charlotte Westover. And then for Team Mama Bears, Amara Edwards, number 5 in lane 1. Sending the pacer on its way now. We're ready to go, and here comes the pacer. Now onto the home straight. Riders ready. Now group getting here together behind number 5 and the rest of this group. Again, this is the race for 5th through 8th, but it should make for a nice competitive race. Up next, we've got the race for the regional championship for our open women. Our top 4 will go down to see who can come out with the jersey. In this group, Dora at the very back had a good run of it. Looked like she had the speed to make it competitive in her heat, but just couldn't quite find the finish. So look out for Dora from the back end to make this closer. The other junior in this group too, could be fun to watch. And so Edwards and Wade-Easley both have good ways to find wins here today in this group. In 3 laps from now, we'll see who will end up at the front. Another way you could say thanks to our partner here and what they're doing is you can go into the beverage garden, purchase some Locust ciders and say, wow, this stuff's really good, and then plan to be a patron of theirs outside of the velodrome to say thank you to that company. Every time you buy one of their cans at a local grocery store, some of that proceeds every single time you purchase is going right back to the cause. Don't forget that. And as well, when you're here in our park, if you're purchasing that cider, you're supporting our cause because the money goes right back into supporting racing programs here. So come on to the beverage garden, get one of our beautiful reusable cups here from Stanley, filled with something from Locust Ciders here tonight. And thanks for Jason Spears and the partnership of his company and the cause that they're supporting here today. The group is getting up to speed here. They're past the 2 to go mark. We're going to see the pacer now leaving. And they're now under the power of Edwards at the front, and the rest of the riders still all lined up, ready for the speed to come. Wade-Easley and Dora both kind of poking their way out a little bit. This generally means that the front is not on the full attack, as the riders in the back will fan around a little bit, knowing that they're not up to speed. The group getting a bit more compact here as the bell's ringing. Wade-Easley rolling it forward. And now the attack will come from over the top, and no surprise that Dora does want to try to get revenge for not making it in earlier. This kid's got really good power and a good motor. She can put together a nice race here for herself. Off and away she goes. Wade-Easley can't hold on as Dora trying to say, I'm the next Lucy, look out. Dora looking very strong here tonight. A good race for her. She'll come across the line first in the group. That's 5th overall in the full keirin event. And now to the line, your top 4 will be competing for that regional jersey. Now getting set to start the major final for the open women. On deck after this, we have the minor and then the major final for the Cat 1-2 men. We'll finally go to the Cat 3 men for their finals before we start the scratch racing. In lane 4 for the breakfast racing team is Erin Bailey. For Jerry Baker Jr.'s right next to her in the black with the white stripe, that's Lucy Gilchrist. With the orange helmet, Danny Scoville for Jerry Baker Jr.'s. And finally, Kelly Darlene in the blue for Rice University is in lane 1. Let's bring the pacer on as we are set to start. Pacer on the home straight. Riders ready. As she's compelled to do, number 9 will take the pacer, drew position number 1, and will lead the group for now. Your winner here will stand on top of the podium tonight with a jersey in their hand, representing the region for being a champion in the keirin. I know the junior would love to have another extra notch on their belt. The rider with the orange helmet in this group is a speedster in this event and seen a lot of good wins from her in the sprints. Lucy Gilchrist right behind her, though, looked really good in her qualifying round. So the middle of this field, very strong. But of course, Kelly Darlene at the front, Erin Bailey at the back, both have ways I'm sure they can find a victory here. Darlene from the front has had great top speed here in 2023. Might be able to find a win from that tough position to lead out the two speedy juniors behind her. Our Camp Velo friends are still here. They're rooting for Darlene, as I know she puts in a lot of time for the Camp Velo experience and got to know the kids this week. You are surrounded by volunteers and helpers in this community run by a nonprofit, including many of our riders that become part of the board or help volunteer and help with the classes. If you want to be a part of that community, be sure to check out velodrome.org and see everything there is to do about the velodrome here, including how to donate, volunteer during the race nights, or sign up for a class so you too can start racing. 2 to go for our champs here. Top rider wearing the jersey here for the season for this region. Still Darlene all lined up behind her, number 9, about to be at the front of the race with the pacer pulling out of the way. Scoville in second wheel, my early call for the race. In a tough spot here with Gilchrist right behind her, was going to try and make this hard on her teammate. Darlene, also product of the Jerry Baker Jr., so former teammates all together here in this competition. Very familiar with each other. Erin Bailey at the back end of the group, holding on to the acceleration so far. Darlene holding off on the attack, wants to see somebody in the side view mirror. There she is. Scoville opens up the attack. Gilchrist is right there to match. Looks like the two sprinters in the middle, as called, will try to make this a good race. Gilchrist is trying to hold on to Scoville, who's so quick out of turn 4. Scoville, time and time again, will make this look easy. Scoville from the front now, not to be challenged. It'll be Scoville, Gilchrist, Darlene. For your top 3 on the podium here tonight, the rider in orange will get the jersey for the season. Congrats to her for her ride. Nicely done. Here comes now the rides for the Cat 1-2 men. Their minor final first, followed by the major. The way the numbers played out, it's a little bit lopsided tonight for the numbers. You'll see that here in a second. We'll get our riders set to go and bring them out momentarily. Usually in the minor final, first rider across the line is getting 7th, but officially from this group, it'll be for 6th place, as there's only 5 in the major final, thanks to our unique format here tonight to accommodate our numbers that showed up for this evening. In this minor final on the outside in the pink for Dyna Racing, that is going to be Scott Grinsel, number 181. Next door to him is Nick Martinez, the coefficient of speed. Ben Flom for Phil Swoop is the rider in orange in lane 4. Sandoval in the light blue is found in lane 3. Kenny Williams, Center Cycles in lane 2, and the Jerry Baker Jr.'s rider in lane 1 is Merrick Gallagher. Pacer can come on out. We are set to start. Pacer on the home straight. Rider is ready. Again, first rider across the line gets 6th place. Our top 5 riders are still awaiting their start momentarily. But this is still some great speed in this group. Our Cat 1-2 men are all good competitors, and they still have shown up here tonight to compete. Gallagher looked good in his qualifying rounds. We know he's got good top speed. He's at the very front of this group, though. That's a tough spot to be in, Keirin, as you have to make the tough choice. Do you stay on the front? Do you lead this group, or do you try to pull up and reset and maybe lose valuable position? If you're at the front, though, you're the one doing the work for the riders behind you. You're providing the draft just like the Pacers doing right now. So that calculus has got to be going on. Once you draw that number 1 right away, you got to have a strategy in mind. In some of these bigger fields, 6 isn't that big, but sometimes in the bigger fields, you'll see the back half also thinking about repositioning just because they're so far away from the front. Currently right now, everybody's happy with their lineup. Sandoval, number 101, right in the middle of the group, the rider with the red bike and the light blue jersey. Had a really strong season in 2022, rating the best bib number in the group for being the rider of the year last year. He was known for sprinting capability and top speed, so this is not a bad event for him either. The group all lined up, still going to see the 2 to go mark now as we come around the corner. Half lap left of the pacer. You can see the acceleration now as everyone's kind of getting on top of the gears of the bike. Things rolling now down the back straight. Gallagher, we'll see what he was planning. He looks like he actually gets a little more aero and does want to hold on to the front, but he's doing so with hesitation. He's looking over the right shoulder. So he's going to see if he can hold on to that all the way to the home straight and wait for the attack to come from the middle of the pack here. Bell's ringing, 1 to go. There's the move as he's looking for it. Sandoval gets up to speed while Gallagher's not looking. Now Merrick's got to try to respond as quick as he can. Side by side, the two riders here down the back straight. Good move from Sandoval. He's got some great power. He's going to try and take over the front. He is moving those wheels now quickly. He has found the front. Gallagher's still in a position to maybe try to charge and retake the lead now. Can they do the flip-flop here? Here comes Gallagher and Sandoval. Sandoval and Gallagher. Gallagher across the line. Number 150, the kid barely over Sandoval. He loses the front and takes it back. A nice race, though, for the top of that group. Now for the major final. Once again, a regional jersey on the line for the winner here tonight. No surprises, some of these names have shown up today to throw down. This will be a fun one. Our 5 riders now getting set to start. All the way up at the top in lane 5, the rider of the year, John Bowie. Ready to start. Next door to him is Andrew Carlberg for the coefficient of speed. In white for 10 Speed Heroes, Christian Miller, the rider right in the middle. In the blue for Center Cycles, Luke Wilson. And finally down in the sprinters lane, or in lane 1, just above it, is Alex Siegel for the Waterline Racing Team. Of course, underneath that rider of the year jersey, John Bowie also racing for Waterline. So we got 2 riders from that squad here on the outside of this group, lane 1 and 5. Our group's not quite ready to start. And there's the signal. We'll bring the pacer forward. Pacer on the home straight. Riders ready. A lot of top speed in this group, and this is 5 of the fastest riders in a 4-lap event like this that we can put together here at the Velodrome. Some of them very multifaceted. They can throw down in some of the longer races. They have a good enduro base. That's about half of this group, really, that have sort of that sort of speed. But the other half, really, they put their effort in to sort of have that top power, and they focus their efforts on being sprinters, on being out here just for a few very fast laps. And that can make it really tough for these sort of overall endurance riders to be able to win in an event like this. But despite that designation between enduro and sprint that we typically have, the rider of the back, the rider of the year, he defies definition. He does it both. He can win in an enduro event, and at least right around here, when we put up to sprint event, he'll win that too. So all the way from the back, you got to look out for Bowie to still have the best top speed potentially in this field. Right in front of him, the flying 200-meter record holder, a world record holder for his age in the kilo event. Great top speed is Andrew Carlberg. So the rider in 4th spot, someone I'll always favor in an event like this. Siegel, another true sprinter at the very front. You saw his top speed on display during his only ride before this. He's at position 1, though, so he's got to do some calculations, too. Does he want to ride high quickly as he can and maybe try to reset? Is he going to hold off and wait for the charge and race from the sprinter's lane? Not sure. The 2 riders in the middle got here through the reps. That's going to be Luke Wilson, the rider in blue, and the rider in white, Christian Miller. Both had to race an extra race to get here. Not only are they a bit outmatched in top speed, but they may be a little bit more winded. So they got to put together a pretty powerful race here if they want to be on top of the podium today. The pacer's out of the way. We've got ourselves set to go. Eyes on the track. We've got ourselves 1 to go. Bell's ringing. Siegel at the front. Everybody's waiting to go. Siegel looking over the shoulder, waiting for the charge. Luke Wilson coming into view a little bit here. Nobody's up to top speed yet, though. Siegel's trying to hold on to it just a little bit longer. Wilson starts to accelerate just a bit down into the flat. Here comes Miller trying to make the run at it. Wilson up and out of the saddle. Everybody's moving and shaking now. Here comes the top speed of Carlberg and Bowie. No surprise to see these two take over at the front. Carlberg and Bowie. Carlberg says, I can win this race. What are you talking about? This is what I'm supposed to win. Carlberg, undisputed there. That's a whole bike and a half in front of Bowie. What great top speed as we get ourselves up to about 40 miles an hour, near there as we get to the finish line. Great speed there for the big rider from Coefficient of Speed. He is known for those kinds of finishes. Get up to speed and then just take it another notch. They did not get off the track just yet. Hold on here, folks. Heads up. I think they're coming around for a quick wave at least. Your regional champ here, Carlberg, says, hey, there you go. Congrats on the jersey. Nice job and a good race. Bowie says, yeah, nice one, nicely done. Two local products they race here basically weekly, although I think you'll see more of Bowie on our week-to-week programs as of late. But both these riders, again, local products, having some fun here. Our Seattle area riders throwing down in the keirin, and great finish there in the major final. Your last group here in the keirins before we switch gears for the scratch race. It's the Cat 3 men, first the minor final and then the major final. Up along the rail is Justin Captis for Premier Racing. Next door to him, Mike Jors in blue. In the middle, Hyun Lee for Dyna Racing. Down lane 2 is Peter Snowblin for Airtech Racing. And then Stan Douglas down in lane 1. The hands up for the pacer. And it's on his way. Pacer now on the home straight. Riders ready. We have 6 riders waiting to start in the major final for the top 6 spots. This is 7th through 11th. That'll be decided from this group of 5. The rider in pink in 3rd spot, just barely missing out on the ride for top spots. Certainly a favorite from this group, considering how close he was to making it in. May feel like he got snubbed at the line and is ready to try to win this one. Right behind him is Jors, who's looked good in all of his races, as is Captis, the rider at the very back. Stan Douglas at the front is certainly styles himself a sprinter, really only comes out for the sprinting events, has good top speed for an event like this, but again, in that top position at the front of this group, a tough place to be. We do this kind of racing every single Friday night. If you enjoy the atmosphere, coming and get some food from the food trucks, the drink at the beverage garden, or just enjoy cheering on local athletes on a Friday night, we do this throughout the summer months. We have a couple of special events that we run. There's one left. In a couple of weeks, we got Fred's Race, where we got weekend of racing coming up. That's regional championships for juniors and masters competitors. Our elites are going during the Friday nights, such as the one you just saw moments ago from both our open women and from the Cat 1-2 men. You can check out our full calendar at our website, velodrome.org, and see what's up. But if you want to basically put on the calendar for the summer, no, every Friday from about May till the first week of September, as long as it ain't raining, we're here at 7 o'clock doing something. And you can count on that. First and third Fridays of the month, Kitty Kilos going on, and, of course, great racing every week. This field getting up to speed now. Stan Douglas from the front at 1 to go. Bell's ringing. Good acceleration from that rider in that position. He's going to try to open up a bit of a gap here. Snowblin is the rider just behind him. Now trying to make the recovery. He's going to work his way back up to him on the back straight now. Trying to overtake on the right-hand side. Douglas not able to hold on to the acceleration from Snowblin now, who looks to take over. Hyun Lee is waiting to jump. The rider in pink might be able to make the move right here. He's got the window. He's got the place in the position. Just has to come around the outside of the Airtech racer, but it might not be enough. Snowblin from the front. Hyun Lee will come across the lines in second in the group. And now our last race tonight in the keirins, the major final for the Cat 3 men coming up onto the track now. This should also be a very fun race. We got a good group here of 6 riders going for first through 6th place. On deck is scratch racing. First up will be the Cat 4 men. On the outside in lane 6 is Serge Malickian, the rider in the black with the white helmet. Next door to him is Wyatt Paul with the multicolor helmet and the black kit. For Epic Racing, next door to him is Gavin Newman in lane 4. In lane 3 for Dyna Racing in the black, that's Jamie Park. And finally, we got some color in the blue for Waterline Racing is Tyler Arnoldi. And then for Dyna Racing, down in lane 1 is Mike Ritter. Your 6 riders set to start in this race for first through 6th. A nearly monochromatic setup here with some flashes of pink. Apparently that's the thing to do. And the pacer's got the signal. Pacer on the home straight. Riders ready. Once again, this is a podium type of race. No regional championship on the line for the Cat 3 men. But it's still the pride of being on top of the podium today for the first rider across the line. This is the race for first through sixth place. Ritter, who drew position number 1, is still right behind our pacer. The rider in gray with the white helmet for Dyna Racing made it here in that close race between him and Hune. It looked close to me. Mike contests that he crushed him. Behind him, we got Wireline Racing Tyler Arnoldi, who has looked in a different class than I've seen him for a few weeks. I know he's been away training and hasn't been racing as much, and he looks like he's in a whole nother gear set here. As he's been looking strong in the first couple of rides. Jamie Park for Dyna Racing has also had great turn of speed. You saw Gavin Newman, just how crafty he was, and the kind of acceleration he put on display during his event. That's the junior in 4th spot. The back end, both recent upgraders from the Cat 4s with plenty of speed available to them as well. The middle of this field is going to set this race up. As soon as that middle starts to move, that's when things are going to get really exciting here as they try to move up. I imagine that distance is going to start closing down. In fact, there already we start to get a little bit of a reshuffle from the back. Not surprised to see this. The pacer now leaves, and here comes the movement from behind Ritter as now Arnoldi wants to take the front. I think he wants the long attack here, so as he hits home straight, he's got the track he needs to make the move. There he goes, an acceleration for the rider for Waterline Racing. Ritter's trying to hold on to the acceleration. He's back onto the wheel nicely. The front's really rolling now. You see Wyatt Paul around the far outside on the blue lines trying to get moving. Now Newman has to try to follow the wheel of Paul. Good time for the acceleration from the junior behind the rider in black. Here comes 2 riders at the front between both Arnoldi and Paul, and now here comes Newman around the outside. The rider from Portland trying to take this. Jamie Park running at it as well. It's going to be the kid taking this one in great fashion. Gavin Newman throws a fist saying that was a hard-earned win. He followed the wheel nicely and opened it up onto the home straight. Newman, I think it'll be Paul and then Park. Arnoldi from the front looking very good as well. But the junior from Portland, that's 2 of our categories taken from us here in the locals. Come on now. Portland's killing us. All right, and with that, we can officially where's Scott Fowler? Is he already in the beer garden? Good. We can give Scott Fowler a quick round of applause for doing all of those laps in front of the fields. Thank you to Team Booger. That's Mr. Fowler. Cat 4 men, come to the rail for your scratch race with Preems. Come on up. Some of you didn't have your bikes ready. Let's go. Cat 4s, that's the end of the Keirins. Let's move. We'll get started with more racing here in just a second. While the Cat 4s find their bikes, you can find your way over to Tabasum or the Beverage Garden. Time for a refreshment or some snackaroos. We got you set. The meat pies are ready to go. They're really easy to order. There's also vegan options available, by the way, if you haven't checked them out. Big old dish of really hearty, delicious rice. All sorts of good stuff you can get from them. They're ready to serve, as well as Postdoc Brewing and Locust Ciders out of the Beverage Garden, now pouring. The scratch race for all 4 of our groups about ready to start. First up, our Cat 4 men coming to the rail. We're good. Our race night manager has set aside 2 $20 cash premiums from this group, in part thanks to donations from all of you raising over $150 for our partners here tonight. We also add a little bit back into our pockets to help with the preems that's going to go in the pocket of someone in this field. We have 2 preems. If they win on those special laps, they get $20 cash in the middle of the scratch race. The only person who gets to know when the bell rings for those is me. So I'll ring them twice, and that'll let them know it's time to sprint for some money. Other than that, it's a scratch race. It's a race for the finish in 20 laps. We'll get a bell at 1 to go to let you and everybody watching know that it's 1 lap remaining. And then the finish on the next lap, first across the line, will be your winner. And racing's underway. It's 20 to go. Scratch racing takes out some of the tactical challenges of other races that we offer and focuses really just on the riders racing the race. And so this group now, as they complete the neutral, they're on their way for this 20-lap contest. It's just a straight-up race, the kind you'd expect a race to be. First across the line, no points, no eliminations, nothing fancy in the middle. Just good old racing, but we get to watch the whole thing unfold in front of us. But along the way, we also get to have the fun of the sound of the bell ringing a few times for the cash prizes. So that gives us a reason to get excited kind of in the middle of the race. Got to see these riders during the keirin. They're going to take one more time around the track in this event, a mass start event on a Friday night. If you come out here most weeks, you're going to see a lot of this. Usually 3 mass start events, maybe a scratch of points and elimination or something like that is a normal sort of program for us. Tonight, we ran the big, long keirin format so that we could really officially say we got to our major final and could put the champion into the jersey for our elites since we're in the middle of championship month here at the Velodrome. My rider's seeing 18 to go, and I've got $20 to lead the lap. $20 to lead the lap. Let's open this up early. Come on now. $20 and an early lap. Let's see what our riders got. Mon Meet Renu says, oh yeah. Off and away I go. That's all the encouragement I need is $20 in my back pocket. Can he get it though? One of our Portland riders, I believe Tallman there, trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Here comes Fairbanks as well. Tallman coming around the corner in the lead, and it looks like our Portland rider will find it. Not only stealing positions in the book today for some wins, Portland's also taking our money. I got a problem with this. And the group will sort of reset after the big sprint there for $20. We're now looking at 16 to go. A very urgent update for the YouTube audience. Just kidding. The beverage garden, the beer did blow, but we have more kegs on the way, it sounds like. I think Eric has some available, so he's going to help with that. We've already notified. We're good. We're on it. I know the YouTube audience was really worried about that. Our group here mostly together down the back straight. A few after the sprint for the cash have fallen off the pace, but the ride mostly looking cooperative here. The ride at the front, just who's going to take the lead for about a half lap or so, and then move out of the way. Seeing 12 to go. Tallman here trying to accelerate things a bit at 11 to go. The rider not done, putting some damage here on the field, already took the $20, and now it's trying to go on a bit of a solo break here. That is Hampson, my mistake on the call there. So nice move here for, again, one of our Portland riders feeling like this is the time to go. It's 10 to go, halfway through this race, and Hampson, number 422, having a good night here. Maybe trying to end 2023 with that upgrade. I'm not sure how close he is. I know he's had some wins in the last couple of weeks here. Interesting here. We do have a bridging effort from Fairbanks and Mayer. This could be an interesting move. The dynamics of the race changing pretty dramatically here at 9 to go. Fairbanks putting in a really big effort. Mayer kind of benefiting from this catch. The leader sitting up. Hampson's got help if he wants to jump on the wheel. He realizes he's got riders here. He might as well get on the wheel of the chasers.
I will say, Conrad and Keegan were first and second on the Cat 4 Omnium on Wednesday. So that is a dangerous little break right there.
We saw the top speed of Fairbanks in the Keirin, but he's also showing some endurance savvy here. And Mayer, a good overall rider himself, makes a big jump up here with Hampson. And again, danger is the right call, I think. And I think some of the riders in the back are starting to figure out they may have let one too many riders go. At 8 to go now, Pham starting to pay the price a bit here, decides he's going to try to make this big bridge. And that's a big one to cross here, folks. That's a long distance to go. A little bit breezy and a little bit hard down the back straight too right now as it feels the wind's coming across the velodrome. As Pham's trying to make this jump happen. Making some good gains here, actually starting to make some progress on your leaders. At 7 to go, it's Hampson, Mayer, and Fairbanks. Hampson looks like he's still this way smoother at this stage. Both Mayer and Fairbanks getting pulled a little bit away from the group. It's almost like, I think, from the looks of it, Hampson's trying to maybe break these two a little bit instead of riding cooperatively. So a little bit of fighting at the front, but they do know they've already dropped most of the riders in this field, so that may be the okay move here. Seeing 6 to go. Your leaders are seeing 6 to go. The chase now getting a bit stronger. I see Kevin Ulrich, the rider in blue, has made his way up to Pham. Trying to communicate with Pham, saying, I might be able to do some work here if you want to get on my wheel. Let's see if we can partner up. So Ulrich and Pham make a team of 2, trying to get a bit closer to your leaders. The rest of the riders are in a pack of 6, just now coming in the Greg Cycle signs, getting currently led by now, looks like Parker Stanford for Airtech Racing. So a bit spread out here, but all the groups are still trying to fight. That is Monmeat at the front, my mistake. 5 to go, your leaders just now crossing the finish line. Fairbanks, Mayer, and Hampson all together make this trio. Not quite an even pull for the three of them. I think Fairbanks taking about a 100-meter pull, Mayer taking even less than that, and now I think it's Hampson that still has the overall fitness to do more of the work. In fact, just as we're talking about it, those longer pulls from Hampson, he's going quick. He's making the other two work just to hold onto his wheel. Look at these quick changes they're doing. It's a lot of speed at the front. 4 to go. Hampson's kind of looking at his competition, trying to measure it up. Mayer's holding on. 4 to go. The kid slows back down again. This lets our riders come back together. The bridging effort has broken at this point as we look back to the field and see that both Pham and Ulrich are back in with the group. So really, we have separated our leaders from this field. Talking about separation, here goes your strong junior once again. And I think the two right behind him are going to be mad at me that I chose this lap to ring the bell because I got $20 to lead the lap at 3 to go. $20 to lead the lap at 3 to go, and I think the kid's going to take home some more cash as both Fairbanks and Mayer have lost the pace at 3 to go. That just means Hampson's going to be able to collect big here tonight and probably just win the race by rolling away from the front of this crew. He'll get the money, he'll get the sign for 2 to go, and it's basically just now the solo ride This rider's in good shape here and ready for that upgrade, looking ready to move on to the next phase of his career. This Portland competitor coming up in good shape today. We started seeing him a lot last year between him and Newman. Newman getting the upgrade a little bit earlier on, and I think this rider showing it today. Really showing that he's got what it takes. Your chase group of 2 have really lost the pace now as this solo ride is broken away. It's nearly a half lap back now to the leader for the chasing riders. And now getting the one to go. Your eventual winner here on the scratch. Hampson on his final lap. Mayer and Fairbanks will be facing off each other for second and third as they get the bell. Mayer for the Dyna Racing team, Fairbanks, the Jerry Baker Jr., the younger rider, trying to see if he can figure out the format here and find second place today. As the bell's ringing for the field, here comes the finish. This is a really strong ride for Hampson. He looks smooth. Looks like he could race another 20 laps. Good athletic form here. Here comes the sprint for second and third. Fairbanks, the kid making the jump around the corner. He's got more to give. One more acceleration. Can he find it? Over Mayer. Good race for the 2. Fairbanks and Mayer. Fairbanks. Both riders really smart to get off from the field and try to follow Hampson around the track. And a good sprint to finish it out. And here comes out of the group Kevin Ulrich, earning 4th across the line. A good run for him out of the group. A few more finishers. We'll wait for them to come across before we bring up our next group, the open women. And the open women's scratch race to the rail, please.
Let's go.
Down to 25 laps and 2 preems, a 40 and a 30. Into the neutral we go for the scratch race. Another 25 laps around the track here for the open women tonight. 2 preems during the race. I'll ring the bell once for $30 and once for $40. Again, thanks to the generosity on your part to help raise some extra money for our preems tonight. In any normal night, those numbers would have been doubled, but we put half of the proceeds to our partners here this evening, thanks to Jason Spears and, of course, the efforts of the Walk to End Hydrocephalus here in Seattle, happening September 9th. The live stream still has the link up in the chat if you want to go find the link there. Also in the description for the video underneath, you can click in for the association and the direct link to what they're up to on September 9th. Learn how you can support it and become part of the cause. Thanks again for your generosity to both causes here tonight. We've got 2 preems thanks to your generosity and for you showing up here this evening. Our group in the neutral out of turn 4. We'll give them the signal if they're still all together. And then our 25 laps can begin. And the whistle is given. It's 25 to go. Catherine Wade-Easley will take the lead role to start this one off. That's Kelly Darlene, number 9 out the front, who will give room for Lucy Gilchrist here in a moment. These racers not only putting in 25 laps in the scratch race, already had several rounds of keirin racing behind them on this evening, and they've got one more race here to close it out. Your champ from the keirins making it back out here again is Scoville, third wheel in the group, the rider with that orange helmet. So if this comes down to a bunch sprint, you know she has the advantage there. .23 to go. Aaron Bailey there at the front for a moment before Charlotte Westover now takes over in the lead position. You can see the riders in this longer format like this. They know there's no reason for these sprints so early in the race, and they've got a fairly small crew, so they need to be efficient. So they know what's going on. They're out here basically doing the pace line, which means riders are taking 200-meter poles and pulling up in the corners so that the next rider be at the front. It's basically like they're in a migration formation right now. They're crossing country, trying to make sure that every member has the most shared amount of work, right? Be at the front for the equal amount of time, going around, taking their shots at the front. Just, here's my 200 meters. I got my name called on the microphone. Off I go. So there's Scoville again, your champ from the keirins. Moving up and back. There's Lucy Dorr, another of the Jerry Baker Jr.'s riders. And by the end of our fourth lap, we'll have worked our way back to our first lap starter Wade Easley here shortly. There goes Dorr up the track, and there's Edwards for Team Mama Bears now at the front. And that'll be our full crew as they've all kind of gone around the designated number of laps for me to be able to say each of their names. 21 to go. I've just been told that in the beverage garden all is well. If you want to continue to join us, we are not out of product. Don't you worry. And we will have it open through the rest of these scratch races and into the evening. So if you want to join us, every $7 pint pour goes right back into supporting our programs. That's a pretty good deal. You get to feel good about your purchase in there. It goes into a reusable cup. We wash those after each of our race nights is done. Thanks to Stanley, our partners here for the last couple of years, and once again a sponsor in 2023 for helping bring those to us. And you can look around the track right now and take a moment and just see how many sponsors we have. If you're on the home stretch here, you can see all those banners showing our local companies that step up year after year. Friends like John Duggan, cycling attorney, who's been looking out for us and riders here in the area for decades now, supporting our velodrome. The Gene Johnson cycling team supporting us big time. Vi13 Custom Apparel has put together some great kits for us year after year. They help us with our Madison jerseys, as well as some of our championship jerseys we put together. Of course, you can see Locust Ciders and Poststock Brewing up there. Better Builders, the Pie Broadmark team, Gacina Fresca, dbcphoto.com, taking weekly pictures of the racing action and providing a lot of the premier material we use on our promotional stuff online. Greg Cycles, Stanley, and of course, all of you for being here today, and the Vision FSA Tech team for helping us with the Vision Grand Prix once again here in 2023. And our newest sponsor joining us, Sound Transit, excited for the opening of Eastlink. Excitement is coming. You can see the wind banner over there, windscreen in turn 4. Thanks to them for being one of our newest and biggest sponsors here in 2023. We are looking forward to Eastlink opening up right outside the park as well. That'll be an exciting time here in Redmond at Marymore Park. Your field continuing to take their turns to the front and working their way around the track. I got 2 preems on deck for these riders, and I think they're just buying their time for when those bells are ringing. Seeing 17 laps to go as Edwards and Wade Easley both reposition themselves. At 16 to go, I got our $30 preem at the front. It's $30 to lead the lap at 16 to go. $30 preem at 16 to go. Our first of two, the slightly smaller of the two. Gilchrist pulls up and out of the way to reset herself and await the attack. Not going to go for this one. Maybe just looking for a wheel to jump on, but it's going to be from the front. Here comes Scoville now. No problem for this rider to accelerate from the front. Scoville for the first cash prize. Maybe both and maybe even a win. We'll see what Scoville can do on tonight's race program, seeing 14 to go. Yeah, I think we got a lap off there in some way, but I think we're on track now, which is 14 to go. Scoville, though, no question, does pick up the $30. We're under 14 laps remaining now. Masters and junior riders, don't forget to get signed up for Fred's Race now, available on the website. Regional championships for masters and junior competitors in all events that you can think of. We've got this mass start races, we have time trials, we've got the sprints, all of the great racing you'd expect, and it's all for regional championship rights, bragging rights for the rest of the year. Also, we had to move the elite championships for the team sprint, team pursuit, and the sprint tournament onto the Sunday of Fred's Race, which is a change. Cancellation from tomorrow's event being now moved into the middle of Fred's Race to accommodate, hopefully, more competitors being able to make and sign up for the event. Again, velodrome.org for the registration is now open at the Race Reg portal. You can do so and get yourself signed up and registered today for Fred's Race 2023. 11 to go in the current race. Our group currently under the power of Doris. She pulls up in turn one. That's Lucy Gilchrist now leading the group. I just made a reference to migration formation for the way they were drafting, and like summoned the migratory birds just like that. The flying V, indeed. A little bit of a flyover there from the geese on their way. 8 to go. Lap car showing 7 to go for the field. 7 to go. Westover at the front now for Scoville taking over. And I got ourselves a $40 preem at 6 to go. $40 preem at 6 to go. $40 to lead the lap. And here comes Scoville again down the back straight. First, Darlene leading the way, pardon me. And here comes Scoville now saying, yep, this is another cash preem. I'm going to go try to collect big tonight, make it 70 for number 1. Ooh, Darlene still wanted. She says, okay, fine. Once again, the orange helmet collects big. Three to go. Seeing 2 to go. The acceleration coming here a little bit as it crosses the line. Wade easily picks up the pace again. Next time around will be the bell. We can settle the winner here in our scratch race. Both preems going the way of the junior at the orange helmet, and now here comes the pause before the top speed in the finishing effort. Scoville certainly looked to be hard to beat here, but she had to put a pretty big effort on that second sprint for $40. Darlene was right there also putting in a challenge, so that was a bit of a match burn that cannot be recovered. Might give an opening for another one of these riders that wasn't quite as greedy for the cash. Or at least will even the odds between Scoville and the chasing riders. Everybody watching the kid here, number 1 at 1 to go. Bib 1 watching the move on the left. She sees Dora down the sprinter's lane. One of the younger juniors in this field with great top speed, showing it right here. She takes off quickly out of turn 2. Brings the bike up to great speed quickly. Darlene's trying to get her way back up there. This is what I'm talking about. Scoville put in a little bit of effort to get those first 2 sprints. May not have enough left anymore for the win. It's going to go some other way. Here comes Darlene and Gilchrist as it's being led up by Dora. Here comes Darlene around the corner. Darlene, Gilchrist holding on. Darlene. Oh, I think Dora might have still found second across the line barely somehow. Might have been Gilchrist third. That young junior looking so good here. Another good race for her from the front. Darlene, though, with a good victory. Cut the 1-2s to the rail. Adjusted down to 30 laps. I've got two preems once again, $30 and $40. Just $5, that's all you want? Oh, got it. All right. 5 laps, says Carlberg, just 5. And off we go in the neutral. We'll start them out turn 4 all together for yet another scratch race with preems. As announced, they've got 2 bells ringing for preem money. We got a $40 and a $30 cash preem in stock for these riders. On Keirin night, I think they were vying for an even shorter scratch race. So like, come on, give us a break. We'll get them started all together here and get set for yet another scratch race tonight. On deck after this, we've got the Cat 3 men, our final race tonight with their scratch race with preems, and that'll be our final contest of the evening. And tomorrow's team, or the championship for the team sprints, team pursuits, and sprints has been rescheduled, so we're taking the weekend off from racing. Racing underway.
I'm so good at pretending. Keep on smiling in my tiny bubble, like a movie without ending. Spending time like it was going backwards. Bruises covering my walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind. Breathing in and breathing out to get smarter. Not working out for me, yeah.
$30 to lead the lap. $30 to lead the lap. $30 to lead the lap. Oh, it's a Keirin special. Come on, where are you? Alex Siegel's in the right place. He's like, thank you, finally. Kaboom! Makes the field look like they're standing still when you got a sprinter and they're doing this. I think you got it. Double down, let's do it. $30 for Siegel. All right. And 26 to go. Siegel's trying to get back on after the big sprint for the cash. Put on a good show here in the Friday Night Lights. He's right where he needed to be with the bells ringing. And he'll find a wheel. He's back in the field. More rotations at the front after that acceleration. It's Gallagher and now Miller both moving up quickly to get out off the front. And now Kenny Williams leads the group through at 25 to go. 24 to go. Ben Flom at the front for Fell Swoop Racing gives way to Nick Martinez with the coefficient of speed. Now Luke Wilson. Bit of a jump here mid-race comes from Miller. Bowie's found his wheel. He's been kind of sitting with him in the middle of this field. So now Miller's going to try to take a mid-race run at it. Time to get things rolling. And Siegel says, no, it's not. It's time to slow down. As our sprinters pulled out here, a couple of them saying, yep, that's good. I got my lap set. At 23 to go. Most of the field holding on to the acceleration here. Now Bowie and Miller trying to pull away even more. Still Miller and Bowie trying to make this thing really fast mid-race here, 22 to go. Deciding to drop this midway hammer on the field. Most of the riders, again, the majority of the field, seeming like they're able to at least keep pace. Sandoval is going to do enough here to try to bring this group back together again. Luke Wilson's right in the middle of it. He's trying to get some help, though, as he's feeling the pain, trying to close that gap down to Sandoval. Sandoval will make his way up to the front three, but they're not going to be slowing down anytime soon. Miller's still trying to pull this thing around. At 21 to go, it's backed off the pace just a hair. Good effort here for the Cat 1-2s. As the field just about all together again, as Grinsel will do what's necessary to finish off that small gap that was left. And as the riders are tired from that effort, that's when Ben Flom says exactly when I need to go. He's going to try and take an attempt at the hour record, I believe, later on this season. So there's a couple of riders out here in this field and others that are trying to prepare for that sort of effort. So Flom always likes to keep turning those pedals over. So he's going to try to take a move here. And with him comes Williams and again, Bowie. Seeing 19 to go. And now our already small field really being narrowed down by this acceleration, sort of making sure that only the riders with some really strong overall strength can make it to this stage. They're trying to make sure that the field is as small as it can be for the end. And it's worked so far. A few more riders here after the last couple of sprints are starting to feel the pressure. So you can see now we're down to 6. Even Miller here dangling a little bit off the back of this group. It's been very quick from the front. Flom and Bowie doing a lot of the work here to keep it quick in the last couple of laps. And if you thought that that was me poking direct fun at our sprinters that already left, it absolutely was. You crazy squatters. Yeah, the overall, not the kind that picks up a heavy bar really hard, really a few times. Like that's different. You're very impressively strong, Alex Siegel. I'm impressed by you. They just crossed the line at 17 to go. 6 riders still all together do make up your leaders. Looks like a little bit of a race within the race there. Miller was sitting high along the rail for a little extra time, but he'll scoot his way back up again. We got Bowie, Sandoval, Gallagher, Flom, and Miller, and Williams, your group of 6, basically still in this race. It's left out the rest in a position that makes it pretty tough to get back in this race. Miller even starting to feel the pressure as it looks like in this smaller group, they're just figuring out if they can just be a little bit more athletic and a little bit more consistent, make this a really small field. Gallagher's hanging in here nicely with Flom and Bowie, who have demonstrated this kind of athleticism is something that they can definitely pull out. Sandoval sort of helping bringing Williams back up. Miller's once again in that dangling position, this consistent pace from the front 3, doing some real damage. Bowie takes his turn. Now here comes Gallagher again to the front. Miller And now Williams both trying to force Bowie in front of them so they not have to be anywhere near the front of this very quick group. They can try to rest in the slipstream as long as they possibly can at 14 to go. You can see the rider in blue just continue to jump out and say, nope, get in front of me. I'm staying back here. This is my spot. And a smart move there. Again, this is really good clip from the front riders and just even hang in with these riders to this point. This is a lot of effort for all 5 of these riders. You can see even the strength of the riders that made it up here. The 6 initially were still losing riders as this is still very quick. 13 to go. A lot of quickness here on the front still. 12 to go. Seems like Gallagher and Flom sort of with the lion's share of the remaining athleticism here amongst the group. They seem to have more miles left in their legs than just about anybody else. So the junior on the front, the rider for Fell Swoop in orange and blue seem to be the ones that are willing to keep pulling because they've got left some power in those legs. The other 3 in this crew of 5 taking shorter pulls, trying to be a little bit more selfish with their efforts. This has been a hard race just even being this group at 11 to go now. Almost looks like a bit of a team pursuit ride at times as they're working together like this. Part of the dynamics here is you have this small of a field and a rider like Ben Flom, who this is the kind of effort he always wants to go out on, but he's usually attacked by riders in the field. He's not allowed to get away. But here, with the small crowd, he's got exactly what he needs to just form a little team and just start rolling. And 10 to go. Other strong athletes in this Cat 1-2 field bite and they join in on the effort, and now you get to see what it looks like just to watch this very consistent, impressive outpouring of energy from these 5 riders as they continue to turn the pedals over. Let's see if we can give one rider $40 to lead the lap at 9 to go. $40 to lead the lap at 9 to go. $40. We're going to go a little bit earlier from the finish on this one and see. It'll give someone time to at least recover before the win out of this group of 5, but they've been riding so hard. Who still has a sprint left? Gallagher comes out of the saddle. He's gone. No one even challenges. Bowie's still sitting down in the seat. Sandoval watches it go by, and Flom says, nice job. You go get that, and then come right back on in here and ride with us. Gallagher for $40, no questions asked. A nice jump for the kid as he's in good shape here this season and continuing to improve. Is he just going to roll with this? He's feeling like he wants to throw down. He's going to put up a fight. This junior, man, 16 years old, I think. Just going to get better and better as he goes. This is a good move by the youngster. He says, why not? I don't feel it yet. Let's keep rolling. 7 to go. Catches the back group here. They're all seeing 7 to go as he comes around him. Bowie says, hold on. Where are you going? We thought you were faking it. Sandoval and Bowie both look down at their legs and say, you got another? And then off they go. And Gallagher says, uh-oh. They called him a bluff. But our group of 5 broken apart here. This causes Flom and Williams to lose some ground. So the group on the front being led now by Sandoval, the rider in light blue at 6 to go. Bowie right behind him. Gallagher, the 3rd rider in the group. The rider in pink behind them has been caught on the lap. So he's down a lap, as is one of the Center Cycles riders. Luke Wilson there, the rider of the white helmet on the back straight, trying to hold on to coach there, Kenny Williams, who's still on the lead lap and trying to close down the gap he just gave up. Still showing he's got incredible fitness and will not give up on this speed at the front of the race. He's making his way back in, clawing and fighting to hold on for more. At 5 to go, most of the leaders have come back together again. We've only lost Flom now. Miller from much earlier still out there on the track and hasn't lost a lap yet. Miller seeing 5 to go after he passes your leaders. Will come out the home straight. They're seeing 4 to go. 4 to go. This little field here does include 2 at the back that have been lapped. The other 4 at the front are all on the lead lap still. One rider off the back of that field is Flom. He's also on the lead lap. Starting to get a little bit closer to those leaders again, but now they go as Bowie says, I don't want any more challengers. Let's keep this quick. Sandoval holds onto that wheel. He is attached to Bowie right now. So riding this race well as Sandoval positioning himself well for this attack. At 3 to go. Gallagher left with a bit of a gap. He closes it down quickly. Above the blue line as Bowie leads, the rest of the field follows. It looks like he's sort of now the lead dog here in this race. Gallagher looked like he might try to roll away with this and make it a one-rider field at the front, just him and against everybody else, but they do manage to catch. He's brought back into this group of 4. Miller does get caught and brought down the lap, so he's in the down a lap group down the sprinters lane now. Flom right behind him is still on the lead lap, and he gets back into it at 2 to go. The rider in orange and blue at the back of this group is still on the lead lap, but as the lead 4 start to pull away, that gap opens right back up again. So down the back straight, right behind the rider in pink is the leaders, the 4 riders on the lead lap. The rider for Dyna Racing is working off the front, but he's down the lap right now. So it would not be scored on similar terms as the group behind him. Now seeing 1 to go, the bell's ringing. Our final lap here in the scratch race. Both preems are out. Now we just got to figure out our winner. This has been an interesting one. Gritzel knows he's got to get out of the way here as the race is coming to conclusion. He's not on the lead lap, so off goes the sprint for the leaders. Sandoval has been really racing a good race here. He starts the sprint down the back straight, but how do you beat Bowie? He still has more to give. He's going to take over the front. Gallagher still has more sprint in him too. He's going to try and hit the sprinter's lane at top speed. Bowie and Gallagher. Bowie will find the win. Gallagher with a great race here tonight. Sandoval able to hold on to this acceleration at the front. It might have been a small field, but man, these athletes still really dug deep and put on a pretty good show for us all. Very interesting race. The undeniable Bowie wins it all. He's not just going to be on top of the Vision Grand Prix for the sprint. He also can win that kind of a 30-lap scratch race. And I believe we are just about ready to bring up our last contest of the night. There's our last rider across the line. Cat 3s to the rail for your scratch race with preems. Two preems, I'll ring it twice for $20 a piece. Both would come from me on the deck. We did adjust to 25 laps, it looks like, so we're down 5. In the neutral for their 25-lap scratch with preems, 2 laps will be rung with the bell up here for $20 preem at the front. And then again, a bell at 1 to go for the final lap and the final sprint to win it all in our last race of the night. One more chance to, again, thank all of you for being here and being a part of what we're doing, and to thank our partners that showed up here tonight. We were glad to partner with our friends from the Walk and Hydrocephalus. They've been here all night long trying to raise some cash. We helped raise some money. Thanks to all of you for putting in some money into the buckets to help raise cash, not just for the riders, but also for our shared cause this evening. We appreciate the efforts to do that. The Velodrome always wants to be a part of the Redmond community, and something like that, that's what calls out to us as a nonprofit. So excited that we can be a part of that. Here comes our group onto the home straight, and the whistle means racing's underway. 25 laps to go, and Stanley Douglas wants the bell right away from me. He saw what happened before. He thinks maybe it'll happen again. Is he right or is he wrong? 23 to go. I mean, that's a big gap. He's hoping for that early bell. Nothing coming yet. He still has a gap, though. Ring it, they say. They want it. They want Stan to get the money for whatever reason. It's very generous of the field. I know it's not when you want it exactly, but I got the money now. It's 30 ducks to lead the lap at 22 to go. Come on. It was just a little early. Can you still hold on at 22 to go? Stan Douglas at the front. He's like, come on. I'm pedaling bricks now, man. What's the deal? Here comes the field now. Oh, boy. There's a rocket in the middle of the field. Portland. Down and out and around and all over the place. This kid's just like mopping the floor. Gone. Gavin Newman looks like he's going to do at least one nice attack here. That was a $20 premium, pardon me, for Gavin Newman at the front. $20. The only thing about being up here and doing these scratch with preems, and I'm the only one that gets power to do these things, is I'm slowly losing friends in this cycling community. So I'm hoping that Stan and I are still on good terms, but, you know, lose one friend, make another. Gavin Newman's an up-and-comer. It's exciting. Still on the solo break here, our rider from Epic. Back in the field, a good move here for Airtech Racing. Looks like Peter Snoblin sees a nice open lane for himself. He'll go take it and try to close this gap down. This is just the kind of effort he wants to go on, so off away he goes. Newman feeling the pressure a little bit on the home straight at 19 to go. Getting the sign that the catch is coming. He'll get up out of the way as they hit turn one, and Snoblin finishes the catch. Newman does what he needs to do. He forces a response. He'll sit back in the field and get ready for the next sprint. You can see that kid's got top speed dialed in right now. Had a lot of good racing on the weekend of Junior Takeover, and I think that's just only made him stronger. All the rest of these guys were back at home sitting on their couches, you know. Who knows what they're doing. He was here all weekend last week racing and getting better, so we'll see what he's going to do with the rest of this evening in the scratch race. At 18 to go, Parker Stanford now for Aerotech Racing pulls away from the front. All podiums, confirming all podiums at the end. So after this scratch race, we will do podiums for our champs, including the regional champs. I missed a bit of the sass there for Carlberg on the YouTube from Chip Chase. He says he had to finish the scratch for your Kieran account. That's not in the rules. That's not in the rules. Yeah, you would know. You did help write the race book. That's fantastic. I have not been checking the live stream chat very much tonight, and it's been a little bit more active. I see I see some folks have some fun with it tonight. Good to see some great viewership this evening as well. If you're enjoying the live stream tonight, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you're chatting, you are a subscriber. Thanks for doing that already. Make sure to hit the notification bell. If you're not happy with what you're watching or you have feedback for us, you can also leave a comment on the video later. And of course, hit that thumbs down if you have something you don't like about it. Make sure you leave a comment with your feedback for us. We'd love to hear from you. If you're watching later on YouTube, thanks for tuning in here at our channel, JB Velodrome. We stream all of the action every single week on Friday nights. And if we have any special races over the weekend, we also try to grab those as well. You can get coverage for the remaining Friday night races and all of Fred's races coming up during the month of August right on our channel. If you're here in the Velodrome and you haven't checked out our channel yet, we are over 3,000 subscribers and growing. We'd love to have you be a part of the sub family and continue to spread the good word. You can find the link at velodrome.org/live and share it with friends and family anywhere and let them know of great racing happening here in Redmond, Washington. Not many velodromes like us left in the country, and certainly not very many up here in the Pacific Northwest. We want to make sure that we continue to spread the good word. That's our cause. That's the fight we're fighting, is to keep track racing alive and communities like ours thriving. We've had a lot of full adult classes, a lot of new riders coming in, some big novice fields the last couple of weeks, and looks like it's set for yet another really good year in 2024. We just got another good month or so of racing this year. In the offseason, you can count on communication from us about the big fundraiser, the auction. If you want to help the Marymore Velodrome Association raise money in the offseason to make all what you see possible, you can get on our newsletter through the website, velodrome.org, under the Connect tab. You can sign up for the newsletter right there, or follow our socials at JB Velodrome on Twitter/X, I don't know yet, and at our Instagram as well, at JB Velodrome. That'll keep you up to date during the off season, so you know when it's time to get on board, buy your tickets for the auction, or maybe if you have an item you'd like to donate, you can get a hold of us that way as well. Captus from Premier Racing. The rider makes the jump here mid-race, seeing 12 to go as he rounds onto the home straight. Tries to re-accelerate the field. Mike Westover follows suit. Newman, the winner in our Keirins for this crew. Also the winner of the first preem, and now looking very fast in the middle of the scratch race. Jumps up with Snoblin at 11 to go. Tries to catch the leaders and overtake. Now Snoblin wants to make a run of it on his own. He's got a helper or two with him, as now Wyatt Paul also tries to jump up there now with Jamie Park. This is a pretty good group at the front half, trying to separate this field into a front and back group. Snoblin finds himself at the front of a small field of riders now. The stragglers kind of dangling out behind, trying to hold on. Many of them getting back in here, though, it looks like. And a 10 to go. Most of the riders are back in contact as Newman's driving the pace on the home straight. Yeah, most of our riders again back here, and this makes this group a pretty long single file line. Just 9 laps remain. At 8 to go, the group's still basically all together. Serge Malikian at the front now. All the attack off the front, sort of like it was going to separate the field out, but the attacks have backed away. The tempo became a little bit more moderate again. Some of your riders just off the back of the group do make their way back in this field, but I still think your top finishers have plenty left to give, and look out for that kid for one more win here tonight. We saw his top speed in the scratch race. If it can stay together like this, it could still very well be that kind of a sprint. 7 to go. Seeing 6 to go now. A little bit of bunching up here. Definitely more in this intermediate tempo for the last couple of laps. And here goes another run at it from Newman. Park follows suit. Stanford trying to jump in on the effort as well. Looks like he's left a bit of a gap, but he's starting to close down on it. So Newman and Park sort of fording the front edge. Park does just enough to catch, and off he goes. They might have known it was coming. I got another $20 to lead the lap right here and right now. $20 cash to lead the lap at 5 to go. $20 cash to lead the lap at 5 to go. Your final preem of the evening now underway as Snoblin finds himself in a very dangerous lead-out position. Newman right there as is Park. Another quick finisher right behind the kid. I think Park's just going to let this one fly. I swear, we're just sending our money south along I-5, man. This is criminal. Does Portland need any more of our money? Come on, man. We're going to have to start having, like, regional restrictions for registration. Newman, another $20 for him. Help make the trip up here a little sweeter. And good racing for the kid. He continues to look really strong here after joining the Cat 3s. And, again, after junior takeover, I think just really another layer of speed here opening up here today. Down to 3 to go. 3 to go for the field. The front of the race is the large group of riders just now in turn 1. Coming home straight now is your leader, seeing 2 to go. Bell next time. Trying to dial in a different kind of effort here. Here comes Westover now to start opening things up down the back straight. A half lap before the bell's even ringing. Not at top speed yet, but Ritter's trying to follow suit. Ernie Shev moves up just in time as the field catches underneath. Bell's ringing for the finish. 1 to go. 1 to go. Westover still on the lead of the sprint. Where is the junior? He's way back there right now, but it's not a big field. He can certainly move up here. Ritter in a good position now to start to take over. Captis right behind. Here comes Park running out. He's got some good finishes in him. He hasn't shown one yet here tonight. So Park will open up the attack into turn 3, trying to get up to top speed. Here comes George also in his sprint. Newman following suit. Wyatt Paul trying to run it from the back of the field, but from the front, Jamie Park looking very strong. Park, Newman, Park, Newman. Park in the sprinter's lane will get it. He didn't go for the cash. He had plenty of strength left for one more sprint at the end. Jamie Park for Dyna Racing looking good to finish the race from a little shorter distance. I think Newman might have been a little too far back. George tried to bring him up. Good run for the finish there for Jamie Park. In a good position. And that'll do it for us here, folks. We have finished our final race of the evening. We hope you had a good time with us here at the Velodrome. We'd love to have you back for more next week. More racing at the same time. 7 o'clock start here. Friday Night Racing will come at you for some more fun. Fred's race this month as well. Sign-ups now open. Beverage Garden still open for at least the time being. Hope you can hang out with us a little bit more. And if you are heading out again, safe travels. Thank you so much for making your way to the Velodrome. If you're on YouTube, still watching, you must like what you're seeing. Hit that thumbs up. Give us the thanks of a subscribe. Leave a comment about what you like here today. Hit the notification bell for when we go live. Didn't like it? Thumbs down. Let us know we can do better. We look forward to more racing that's going to come at you 1 week from today, and I can't wait to host you for more racing action right here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.